Okay, Pete, put your name down. Okay, DJ, give me these fighters. This bout is sponsored by Harley-Davidson. I've just been informed it's not one day, it's a whole weekend. This is a K1 bout, stand-up fighting, spinning back fists, knees to the body. In the red corner, from Optimum MMA, Symonds, Frankish! And in the blue corner, from East Anglia MMA, Symonds! Remember, the louder you scream, the harder they fight! Fire to the centre of the cage. Right, Simon.
One knee clean, so one hand behind the head, many knees as you want to the body. The minute that hand comes on the shoulder or behind the head, one knee, you break the clinch. These are my instructions all the time. Any questions? Any questions? In case of a knockdown, you go to neutral corner and I'll pick up the count. Okay, first gloves, go to your corners.
Here we go with our first K1 bout here at UCMMA Contenders in Ipswich, and it looks like it's off to a real flyer. Haven't even had a chance to introduce these fighters, and Frankish comes out firing, and Joe Symonds takes him down to the ground.
He certainly does, and he really needs to think about pacing himself here. Unless he gets the knockout, he's going to pay the price in the later rounds.
And this is amateur K1. I made a point of watching young Joe Symonds as he walked into the ring. The young man was caught up in an absolute spell of it all. I was just watching his eyes, looking around the room, loving every single moment. That is what this is all about, but the young man needs to get focused here, get his head in this fight, because he is just getting bombed out here by Symonds Frankish.
He certainly is, but he's covering up really well. And all
referee needs to watch that. Frankish holding on around the back of the head, needs to be careful there.
He does, he takes a 3, 4, 5 count here from the referee. No, he's all good. After a 7 count, he's all good. He's ready to go. The referee's just sorting out their shin pads, and looks like we're going to go again.
Now, an early onslaught there from Symonds Frankish, but what Joe Symonds needs to realise is that whenever Frankish attacks, whenever he comes forwards with a technique, his guard is wide open. It is parted like the proverbial Red Sea, and Joe Symonds needs to be taking advantage of that. If he has some ring presence and his corner notice it, that needs to be where he takes advantage, because if not, he's going to get constantly bombed out here by the strong Symonds Frankish.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, this guy, he's only got one gear. I mean, he's all forward. He's being really aggressive in the first opening round here. And you're going to have to ask yourself, as this fight goes on, is he going to have anything left in the tank?
Again, both of these guys, good kickers early on here, both exhibiting that they are flexible. They can kick quickly and efficiently. However, we have guards dropping like flies here, Tomek. It's not a good thing to see for either fighter to see guards dropping down below the waist.
It certainly isn't, and there's a huge difference between these two guys. One has his hands up, the other one's hands are really low, and he's just throwing bombs here.
Bombs not aimed at a particular target, however, it seems. Not many of them landing cleanly onto the chin of Joe Symonds. But, however, K1 is all about aggression, all about the man taking the initiative. And in that round, it was definitely Simon Frankish of Optimum. Round number 2, Simon Frankish in the red corner versus Joe Symonds in the blue. Now, Joe Symonds would need to change his game plan here, absorbed a lot of pressure from Simon Frankish early on in round 1. However, the obvious thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that Simon Frankish is flagging here in round number 2. Doesn't have the same amount of energy as he did early on.
No, he certainly doesn't. That aggression has slowed down, and he's sort of taking little breaths here. You can tell that he's been quite passive. And you have to ask, as this fight goes on, is Joe Symonds going to bring this back?
Yeah, Frankish definitely just dropped his pace here noticeably and just throwing techniques out there. I think more in hope than anything else, really winding them back, coming forwards. And Symonds just absorbing, needs to just get his head in this fight and understand that this is not a particularly dangerous situation for him to be in, with Frankish swinging those big bombs, since Frankish doesn't seem to have a hell of a lot of power in him here in round number 2, and that is when he is particularly vulnerable.
No, he certainly hasn't, and Joe's just been absorbing all this punishment with his really high guard, and a nice little 1-2 gets through. But Frankish continues with the leg kicks, and he's once again his shin guard keeps slipping, and referee is helping to adjust it there, and I think these guys are going to restart straight away. No, he's going to help with the other, with both fighters' shin guards, and now we're ready to go again.
Back in, and Simon Frankish definitely breathing hard, gassed here in round number 2. Went out too hard in round number 1, got his adrenaline dump, and then barely even checked that testing jab of Joe Symonds. So you have to be thinking, if you're in the blue corner, if you're from East Anglia Mixed Martial Arts supporting Joe Symonds, you will be screaming for this young man to come forward and take advantage of a gassed fighter. However, it doesn't seem like he's able to, Tomek.
No, he doesn't, but the Optimum fighter, I mean, he is just swinging for the fences here. He is exhausted, his mouth is wide open, but he's being more aggressive. He's still landing those shots.
I mean, we're coming towards the last 10 seconds of round number 2, and you've got to think, are these guys going to have enough for a round 3? They might just decide to call it a mutual draw based on how tired they are. They are absolutely gassed here at round number 2. Third and final round, Frankish versus Symonds. Frankish in the red corner versus Symonds in the blue. Frankish fighting out of Optimum and Symonds fighting out of East Anglia Mixed Martial Arts. No 8 count there.
No, that was just a little fall, yeah. And Joe just coming back with the leg kicks, but Frankish firing straight back. And again being aggressive, but he's got to be careful in his exchanges. He's leaving himself wide open for a
certainly is, and in no sense, in no world is it a good idea for a fighter's hands to be below their waist. Simon Frankish does need to be careful here. He's been fortunate thus far that Symonds hasn't picked up on this, and it could be an issue for him should Symonds engage brain and focus on the overwhelmingly obvious target, as he did just there, of Simon Frankish's exposed head.
A huge right hand. He should really be pressing the action here. Frankish was stunned for a second there, but manages to recover, digging really deep, and now keeping him away. He really needs to get those hands up.
And it's almost like Symonds has finally realised, oh my word, there's a gap there. I can actually hit this guy. And now I can do it at will, but both of these guys are so tired, Tomek. It's not making any difference. They're swinging for the fences, but none of their shots have any power, and they don't have any direction because they are just that gassed.
They certainly are. Once again, the shin pad coming loose. They touch gloves. Let's see if they've got anything left in the tank with a little bit, just 40 seconds left to go.
I think our question just got answered there, Tomek, with that wannabe jab just slowly pushing against the nose of Joe Symonds from Simon Frankish. No real energy within it. But
yeah, Frankish is very tired here, but he's still managing to land shots even though they are blocked. He's still landing something. He's still looking aggressive, and this deep into the fight, he's looks like he's going to win this fight.
It certainly is. Frankish the more aggressive of the two fighters so far. Symonds finally finds a little bit of energy late on in round number 3, but the question is it enough?
I think it's a case of a little bit too little too late.
Good work from both of these fighters. Gassed beyond belief, ladies and gentlemen, but leaving absolutely everything in the cage.
Before we give the decision, I want a massive round of applause for both these fighters. Great fight. It could have been a rocky comeback, but I think he just come short. We have a winner in the red corner, Simon Frankish, and a massive round of applause for Joe Symonds. Unlucky Joe. Frank, you blew your gas there, son, but you come out on top in the end anyway. Well done, Frank. People looking at you should do this, should that? Get in here. Is that your first time? You're good.
This is my second.
Your second time. It don't matter. It don't get no easier, does it? You're gassing. I just want to tell you, hit her bag for 6 minutes, then come and tell me it's easy. Tell them how hard it was and tell them what you want to think.
It was very hard. And I thank my daughter because she was the one who told me to bring the gold medal back. So, thank you.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Is she here today?
No, unfortunately not. She's been back at home.
Back at home.
From proud father, one more time, Simon Frankish! Wow.